Welcome to Cowgirl Talk, where we empower you to live authentically through real food, real talk, and real life. Sisters brought together by our love of cows. We're your host, Emily, a dairy lover and personal trainer living in Florida.
And Becca, a corporate cowgirl holding down the family fort in Pennsylvania. Let's go, cowgirls!
Hello, and welcome back to Cowgirl Talk. So for today's episode, this is one just between Becca and I. Again, we've had a lot of awesome interviews lately. We thought today would be a fun episode to almost just kind of catch up with each other and talk a little bit more about our fall faves of the seasons, right? Just a couple different categories of things that we have been loving lately because as we're recording, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween. But as this will be posted and look at Becca's shirt. If y'all are watching the video of this, it's like howdy skeletons. It's
cowboy skeletons.
It's amazing. Pretty on brand for Cowgirl Talk. And as this then uploads and y'all are listening, it'll officially be November, which is crazy. So we're kind of in the thick of fall right now. And so again, we just thought it would be fun to recap some of the things that we've been loving this season. And as we talk through these things, it'll be really fun to hear feedback from y'all if you can relate to anything that we're chatting about or you're like in complete disagreement with some of the things we talk about. But I don't think anything that we'll talk about will be too crazy or off the wall or controversial. But we have a couple different categories that I think will cover a nice variety of things. But before we dive into some of the things that we've been loving lately, so it's basically like a big seasonal obsession versus our weekly obsession thing. We got to do, though, our highs, lows, and buffaloes. And Becca, I just know, kind of thought of these recently. So Becca, let's start with some of your highs, lows, buffaloes, probably more so your highs or whatever you want to start with.
Well, my high and low are together, so I'll start with those.
Okay.
This past weekend, well, the weekend before this is posted, so the weekend before the day of recording of Halloween, we, for work,
do the math.
Math that out for me. We sponsored, we as in the company I work for, sponsored the Marine Corps Marathon.
So cool.
It was an F yeah, America kind of weekend. So it was in downtown DC in like the Roslyn suburb or whatever you call that kind of division of DC. And it was on Sunday. And so as a sponsor, what we wanted to do was give away these little half pints, which is a little 8-ounce plastic bottle of our chocolate milk. And people, like I've always known we're trying to make chocolate milk a part of the culture as the dairy industry, like the running culture. But this weekend, I guess they haven't had chocolate milk before. And our coworker, his wife ran it last year. Her name is Katie. And she had like mentioned, man, I wish there was chocolate milk there. Like they had beer, but they didn't have chocolate milk. And after you run almost 30 miles, like beer probably sounds good. I get
drunk so quick.
Yeah. So people were seeking us out because we only had 4 people there. That was a mistake. Next year we will have way more.
I'll volunteer. I'll come help.
Yeah, we had no idea what to expect. But between 4 of us, we handed out 16,000 milks.
Oh my gosh, that's so freaking cool. And that's a lot of people running and participating.
Well, 30,000 signed up, and they say almost 100,000 people come through the festival.
That's insane.
At the finish line, yeah. We had 27,000 milks on the truck. I think if we had had 2 more bodies, we could have given out 20,000 plus because we were literally, we were taking milk crates off of the truck, this like box truck, putting them on crates, lugging them out to people. People were swarming us and taking them out of crates. Oh my God,
you had a line for chocolate milk.
Yeah, literally people said, hell yeah, I effing love chocolate milk. Or I've been looking for this. And one lady literally came up to me and said, oh my effing G, can I hug you? I was like, yeah. She's like, no, seriously, can I hug you? I was like, yeah. And she hugged me. She goes, I effing love you. No, seriously, like, I love you so much. Oh my God, how many can I take? And I was like, as many as you want. And she had 4 friends with her and they all took like 3.
Oh my gosh.
So mind you, the 16,000 some people, it wasn't necessarily 16,000 people, but it was crazy. And it was just such a good day to be our brand and then also to be milk people.
That's so cool. And
yeah,
there were like, oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I thought of something. a couple of people asked, "Ooh, is that plant milk?" I was like, "No,
Oh.
sorry, it's dairy." They're like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh, heck yeah. The culture shifting back, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
that
so
was
cool.
good.
Well, I was just going to say, I like how you said, well, I don't know if I like, but I agree with what you said of, okay, we see it in the dairy industry of how hard we push of like really trying to get milk into running culture. That's a huge push of milk pep, gonna need milk and all that with everyone's
Mm-hmm.
marathon. So for us, it's like, okay, we see this. This is obviously their push. But then it's cool to see that it's working, right? I think we
Yeah.
can get caught in our own little bubble sometimes, and to get outside of it and see that,
Yeah.
that's very cool and probably very rewarding.
Yeah. And we had Milk Pep was there partnering with us, so dairy people might know who that is, but it's
Yep.
a checkoff organization that you as a processor or a company pay into, and then they market for you. Like, for example, the National Watermelon Checkoff was next to us on the
Oh,
street. So the watermelon people do this as well.
did you like
And
brawl with them? Like, were they competition?
honestly, like the one lady kind of did with me at one point,
Dang, like,
and
girl, we're
then
not the same. We're not
no,
competition.
and then I adjusted accordingly, and she, in a girl in the way girls do, apologized,
Good,
which is by
good.
asking you a polite question.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm not going to say sorry for being rude, but
Yeah. So, yeah, she had an interesting moment with us of thinking we were in her way.
maybe she was having a
How's
bad morning, right?
Yeah, and I just remember saying, "There's two of us out here handing out milk. You currently have six girls on the street with watermelon. Like, if you want us to move, we will. But I don't think people aren't gonna get watermelon because I have my milk cooler right here."
Yeah, like this is so different. I'm not going to choose. I'll
Yeah,
take both.
yeah, and so it was. But it was a lot of fun. At one point, I was handing out 300 milks within 5 to 10 minutes.
Wow.
And I was thinking about this. My feet and back hurt worse. This is my low. Hurt worse after that than when I ran the actual half marathon in Pittsburgh 7 years
Really? How
ago.
about compared to Thon at Penn State when we danced Thon?
Oh, my feet hurt less, but I don't
Yeah.
remember my back hurting after thon. But that's probably because I was young.
We were young and agile then.
Yeah. So I laid down in bed that night, and it was like, oh no, oh no, this is really bad. So I popped some ibuprofen, and we didn't drink any water. We didn't eat lunch during that day. So that
Oh,
was
because
my
so
lowest. It
busy.
was so busy. We all had Cliff Bars, and we
And
all
you're just
drank
chugging
some,
chocolate milk.
seriously. And then we finally ate dinner that night, and I got a steak.
Mm.
Oh my God. I was like, meat has never tasted so good that it does right now.
You could have ate like the worst steak ever, and it probably tasted like the best steak in that
Yeah.
moment.
So, but yeah, that was my high. And then my low was just at the end of the day, how much my back hurt. And then the next day, my feet still hurt, but my back was fine because I did plenty of stretching.
Good, good.
And then I was like sick for 2 days, but not necessarily sick. I was so
Yeah.
dry from being outside and not drinking enough
Oh,
water
yeah.
and sniffly and just tired. So over the last 2 days, I'm finally starting to feel normal-ish.
Yeah, just catching back up on your routine and your body. I mean, again, we can't say like, okay, the runners were probably also tired, but you're tired and just kind of gassed in your
Yeah.
own way. Your body's like, woo, I need
We
to rejuvenate.
I woke up at 4:50 a.m. and
Nice.
then we rolled back into the hotel before changing for dinner at like literally exactly 4:50 p.m.
Dang, 12
So
hours on the job.
it was. So, but yeah, Em, what about yours?
Okay, well, mine aren't as cool because I absolutely love that, but it just makes me very excited to be involved in dairy and milk. And hopefully, I want to try to volunteer at the Every Woman's Marathon in November because it's in Savannah.
Oh, hey,
So-
we're making the milk for that.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to
You'll have
text the people involved again because it's the Dairy Alliance is the southeastern part. So I'm going to text them again and see if like, hey, where can I more specifically get involved? Because I would freaking love that. And I know some people running. Anyways, that might be the high when it gets closer to time. But I guess my high for the week would be I'm dressing up for Halloween. Woohoo. I feel like we don't take Halloween that serious. Maybe one day when we have like kids and stuff, you get more involved or more excited for it. But I'm going to be dressing up. I don't think anything will top my She's the Man outfit from last year. But
No. I mean,
I
how
think
many
my outfit-
million views did you get between all the socials? Like you got over 10 million on TikTok, right?
Yeah, like total, I probably have 25 million views between Instagram and TikTok, if
That's
not more.
crazy.
Crazy. So I am going to be posting them again today. Shameless. See if it, can do well again, but just like a throwback to Happy Halloween. But I think my outfit for this weekend will still be funny. I'm going to be reusing my wig from last year because why not? I still have it and I don't feel like dressing in something cute and sexy or anything. So we're going to dress up as another man. Y'all are going to have to wait and see. So go follow me
Is
on Dairy Girl
Ruben
Fitness.
is Ruben dressing up like
Anything?
yeah.
Collaboration?
Yeah.
No. Also, sorry, my nose is like so itchy. I know if you're listening, you can't see that, but if you're
Yeah.
watching, you're like, Emily,
I'm all
relax.
touching my nose. Who cares? Ruben
But
should
no, he's
dress
not in
up.
collaboration with me. Him and the
Oh,
other guy are going to be inmates. So I was like, okay, do your thing.
okay.
They had that idea. Jordy's
That's
hosting
like
it, and he texted him a
literally
couple weeks ago.
that's such a
He's
girl
excited
thing.
about it.
Good for
So,
him. Good for him. I think he should dress up as the wife of who you're dressing up as.
oh my God.
That would be really funny.
I don't think I'll be able to convince him this late, but it would be funny if he did want to participate.
You could get
and
him
that'll make sense.
the big bubble necklace she wears. There's a little hint to who Emily was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A red dress. I don't think he'd do it. But as I post my outfit, that might make more sense for y'all. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But so that would be my high. Nothing super crazy or maybe as much of a high as yours. But my low would be, and this is not a dramatic low. It's very simple, almost petty low. But I had a recipe fail. Not a terrible thing. But Becca and I both made this recipe.
We were both excited.
Yeah, and
Kale Couture, baby.
Yeah, and it's $1 million pasta. So there's like this version of it everywhere, like $1 million soup, $1 million. I think that's what it's called, right? $1 million pasta. It's basically when you just put Alfredo and marinara sauce, and it's delicious. Yeah, it's like, oh, duh.
Mind blown.
And so it was in the crock pot, and it was still good, but I put my noodles at the bottom, but I did chickpea noodles, so protein pasta, and it literally dissolved. And
yeah,
Aubrey, the blogger, we follow each other. So when I post about it, she's like, hey, just a heads up, you might want to do it on less time because the noodles have kind of been dissolving. So she did give me the heads up, but I still put it on hour, but I did it on high because I added in zucchini. And so it's just like a combination of things that zucchini needed longer, but then the pasta dissolved. And I was just like, damn it. And protein pasta can get a weird texture if not cooked correctly. And so it's it was dissolved and grainy and just, I basically scooped the top half off the pasta and I'm still eating it because it's a big batch of food. I'm like, I can't throw this away. So, when you look forward to a recipe and it doesn't work, it's just like, come on, man.
That. I made a soup
and it worked for you. So I was like,
it did, but not. There are plenty of tweaks because.
But you made with regular noodles, right?
I used the 3 Farm Daughters noodles.
Oh, I need to get that from them.
Yeah. So, because you can only buy it in like massive batches.
Oh.
You can't. Well, I mean, you have to buy it in like packs of 4 or something from their website because none of the retailers near me carry it. Mm-hmm. But I used regular pasta because protein pasta is similar to like gluten-free pasta. It doesn't have the gluten that keeps it intact. So when I was going through figuring out what was wrong with me and refusing to accept that I was lactose intolerant, I was like, oh no, maybe it's gluten.
I'll be anything but that.
I was like, I will literally do anything else. But it turned out I was lactose intolerant. But like the pasta was just so gross. So I feel so bad for anyone who really does have an intolerance or celiacs or like can't eat it. Cause I don't think anyone would personally choose to eat that kind of pasta.
Like I'm being like held hostage to eat this pasta right now.
But I don't know. I don't like the idea of pasta in a crock pot after doing it unless it's maybe like a soup pasta or soup noodle, because I would rather make all of the ingredients, then mix them together in like a baking sheet with the pre-cooked noodles and then put the cheese on top. Because with the water in the crock pot,
like a casserole.
It was a little too soupy for me.
Yeah, I think the post was in collaboration with Walmart to promote one of their crock pots. So I think
Which is a beautiful crock pot.
Yeah, so cute. And so it made sense. But yeah, as I was doing it, I was like, this doesn't really save me time because I'm still having to cook the beef. I didn't have to cook the pasta, but I think in a casserole form, which is typically what that is. It was basically like rigatoni, right? Baked rigatoni.
Yeah.
That maybe could do better. So I love the crock pot idea. It, can save a little bit of time, but
It's
not
more
enough
of like
that it made it better.
Yeah, it's more of a I want to throw in a big meal ahead of time and cook it in a way that I don't have to cook it later.
Yeah.
But I was like,
yeah.
no, this doesn't save me any time.
No, I definitely need to
But it was
try
good.
give some more tweaks. And I recorded it like, I post a lot of recipes, right? So I record a lot of my recipes and I went through the effort of recording it and then it didn't turn out. I was like, you stupid.
You could have a recipe fail. Here's what I would do differently. Like, you can still make it.
Yeah, but it was just with the noodles completely dissolving. It was like, nah. And the zucchini not cooking through. It was like, there was just too many parts that I didn't want to post it. Be like, hey, I didn't like this.
You could do a
but these are
blooper
the
reel.
tweaks I would made. Huh?
You could make it into like a blooper recipe.
Yeah, I already deleted them because I have an insane amount of videos and photos on my phone. It's like if this didn't work, I don't need it to take up space. But yeah, so
True.
Again, not a huge low, but that's my low.
It's worth a low. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and I'll still eat it, but it's just like And buffaloes. Okay, now I had a few random, but one that I wanted to add would be you were talking about being lactose intolerant. Dairy Pill, that's what it's called. It's like that's their brand. They do lactose pills, lactase pills, I guess you could say, instead of you would compare it to Lactaid. And so it's kind of a, I guess, competition to them. But they sent some to me. I'm not lactose intolerant, but I was like, hey, I want to post about this. Yeah. So I was just thinking, I wanted to get it so I could post about it because I love the branding. It's very aesthetic. It's very modern. I think it's probably more expensive than Lactaid. I can't say directly. I've never bought Lactaid, but you get a bag of pills, and you get this really cute little glass jar, and they have this little to-go pill capsule that you can clip on. It's like a keychain.
Oh, that's so smart.
It's so cool.
Is like a bunch of little powdery pills and little things you have to tear open because they're both essentially just a form of the lactase enzyme, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because this is in pill form. So easy peasy. I need to post about it. And I loved the packaging they sent on, most packages will have a little card with them, kind of like a business card. And this says, because we still fuck with dairy. So I was like, this is so clever. So I figured I'm going to bring it next week at Dairy Girl Network for y'all.
Oh, thank you. And tell them I'm not lactose intolerant, but my sister who could start her influencing journey because I do have influence enough.
Yeah.
That people will
literally if tag them. I'm sure they'll.
Yeah. Well, they could be like a cowgirl talk partner.
Oh.
Brought to you by Dairy Pill.
Heck yeah. Okay. Ideas happening, forming, hatching.
Seriously,
right now.
message them. At least one half of us is lactose intolerant.
Okay. I like it. All right. Future idea blooming. So Buffalo potentially turned into a high. But a few other randoms, or more so, I guess. I just have to mention this because Ruben smoked a brisket. And, there's room to improve on it. But it's his first kind of successful brisket. And he recognizes that. It was good flavor, great flavor. And still, and even, again, good texture. But I feel like it could maybe get a little more tender. So we just need to keep working on that a little bit.
He recognizes that. Like, you have him in some sort of performance review.
Well, no, because our mom's husband, Tom, he makes brisket every Christmas, and it's really, really good. So I feel like that's what we have to compare it to, and it didn't necessarily have that tenderness yet. So we're like, okay, we've tasted good brisket, knowing what we kind of like for tenderness, and it's not quite there yet. And he knew it too. I mean, and brisket's expensive piece of meat because it's also ginormous. I mean, briskets are huge, so it's also like you can't just go out and you could. But you don't want to just buy it every single week and keep trying because it's kind of expensive. So if you don't like it, it's like, that's a lot of meat to not eat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he should, I bet, unless he has already, if he texted Tom and was like, okay.
Yeah, they were talking about it.
I was going to say, Tom would love if he texted him about that.
Oh, yeah, they talked about it. So
That's
they've
awesome.
got it down. And we shall continue to improve on the quest of a tender smoked brisket.
My buffalo is also related to food.
You didn't do your buffalo yet. I was about to pass over you. Sorry.
Yeah, well, no, I have two because as Emmy and I were doing our quick pre-planning before recording this, because that's when I prep for these things.
Yep.
I was like, I had a buffalo, but I can't remember it. And she was like, well, your buffalo is that you had a buffalo.
Yeah, it's good enough.
But I have two. One is that I finally got a light. For recording, and it's a really cheap square one from Amazon, just like the really cheap mic that I DoorDash, but you know, we're doing it. They both work. I took a picture of my setup because I also put my laptop on top of a book that gives it height, on top of my TV dinner stand that I've had since I like got my first apartment 7 years ago. It's pretty funny. But anyways, my other buffalo,
it looks great,
is that I, along with my lactate pills that I always have many, many of, maybe some dairy pill ones soon, is I have been... Baby's foot is like in my armpit. Did you see that?
It's like a little claw in the corner. Halloween.
Hold that thought. And I have been craving ooey gooey butter bars. I have been obsessed with the idea of these things for the last couple of months. And because I had them last year and I haven't been able to find them and I don't really want to make them. Yeah. Like, somebody has to make an ooey gooey butter bar something because they're so good. Like, oh, so obsessed. And I Instacart, I look on Instacart every once in a while to see if anyone has anything. And Jenny's makes an ice cream ooey gooey butter bar. And I had it 2 nights ago. And it was literally the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. I'm not kidding.
Jenny's is life-changing. I haven't had that flavor, but I've had their others. God. And Jenny's is life-changing. It's expensive, but...
Oh my God, so expensive. But I literally... I think if someone were to ask me my favorite ice cream, I would say Jenny's ooey gooey butter bar or butter cake, whatever. It was unbelievable. And Joe was kind of rolled his eyes at me. And then last night he's like...
No, you don't get it.
He's like, can I try that? I was like, yeah. He did, and we were both like, he was like, oh, holy shit. This is so good. And it is just the most amazing ice cream I've ever had. So I made that discovery.
So oh my God. And the mix-ins are so good. They taste like the mix-in was just made and thrown in there. Because they have a peaches, Georgia peaches, like jam and biscuit one. Oh my gosh. The biscuits in there, freaking delicious.
Well, because I wanted to do their Ted Lasso combo. That was like the Ted Lasso biscuit. It sold out literally in minutes, I feel like, online. I didn't get any. I tried.
Bummer.
And yeah, because after I had that, I texted Lisa, our Pap's wife, about the desserts, which we talked about last time for Christmas, and said, can you make an ooey gooey butter bars?
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah, I said, I need to put in my official dessert request.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So I'm so down to try. Okay, and also, what was that thought you put a pin in?
Oh, the actual buffalo that I had in my mind that I just remembered because of first time. We watched, Joe has seen the movie Gremlins before from the 80s. Oh my
gosh.
I've never actually seen it.
I don't think I've ever watched it the whole way through. Maybe once. Like, I feel like I've seen bits and pieces.
So bad, but it's so good. And we've been watching our spooky Halloween movies this week, and we put that on last night because we thought it was in the Halloween category, and I had never seen it. It's a Christmas movie.
It's based at Christmas?
Yeah, it's based at Christmas. And then it also made me realize why everyone names their dog Gizmo, because Gizmo is the cute Mogwai or whatever that isn't a gremlin. In the movie. He's so cute.
He looks like the... Oh my gosh, what do you call
Furby.
him? Furby, yeah.
Yeah, he looks... Furbies probably were made because of Gremlins.
Probably.
But yeah, I watched that movie for the first time. And literally, the one character, she's like, I hate Christmas. you finally find out why in this big dramatic scene. And she was like, I was cleaning out the fireplace and I smelled this smell and we thought it was a squirrel or a
Oh
bird, and it
no.
was my dad. He was in a Santa suit because he was coming down the chimney to give us presents.
And he got burned alive?
No, he just got stuck. Or no,
Oh my God.
he slipped and broke his neck or something and then got stuck in the chimney. But I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever watched in my life. It was so 80s.
Oh my gosh. That's like when people say, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Like now is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I think I'm going to start throwing that in there. I think people will like it.
Fun fact. That's your fun fact. Like, hey, do you know Gremlins is a Christmas movie? Mm-hmm. Well, I need to watch a Halloween movie tonight or some sort of movie now that you've inspired me. So
yeah, I think we're going to do a good classic like Halloween or Scream or something like that.
Ooh. Now I want to okay, now I'm excited. I want to watch something tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so many random kind of highs and buffaloes.
As soon as I remembered it, I was like, yes, I remember.
I love our highs and buffaloes. It can go anywhere. You never know. But kind of, building upon our highs and buffaloes, wanted to talk about some of the things that we've been enjoying this season, right? And calling it like our fall favorites, and have a couple different categories, and none of them are really serious at all. But I think the first one, and this one, it's kind of boring, I guess. I don't know if we needed to include it, but I was just typing out everything and anything. We'll start with this, and then we'll move on to fun stuff. But is there a favorite form of exercise or activity that you're enjoying right now? Kind of like your fall movement. What's your fave way to get moving right now?
Well, I actually have a fun one for this. So I saw this and I was like, ooh, a perfect thing happened. Well, one that's probably more fall-like, and I'm sorry, this is going to make you sad, but taking walks through the leaves and taking pictures of the trees. Yeah, it's just so fun. Me. We have some great trees on our walk.
Yeah.
Like some really beautiful ones, the bright orange red ones. So I would say just that, walking among the leaves. And then this week, so Halloween week, past week, if you're listening, the Boost Spin Cycle Studio has gone balls to the wall on Halloween rides. So on Saturday, like at the beginning of Halloween week, they had a Sabrina Carpenter versus Chappell Roan ride, and I was Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, that was
I had
fun.
a sports bra that looked exactly like her black and white dress, and the kiss tattoo I have on my arm, it's still perfectly there. That was on Saturday. It's Thursday, so that's still there. They had a Mean Girls themed ride where everyone dressed up as their favorite Mean Girls character. So someone did the gray hood with the sunglasses. It was so funny. And then the one I did yesterday morning, I didn't get it until the end, but it was all like Halloween music and sometimes they'll do partner rides, which means there's two teachers that go back and forth, kind of like a battle almost.
Yeah.
And they were both dressed up as ghosts, which was really cute. And I was like, oh, that's cute. They must have run out of ideas. But then no.
Lazy. Just
Meanwhile, I didn't show up in a costume because I was going to go in as Ricky Bobby, but my costume wasn't showing up until today.
Yeah.
But then I realized at the end, there's always a sprint song at the end that like you end the class on. And the song was Ghostbusters. It was like a Ghostbusters remix. So I was like, oh, okay, wait, no, that's cute. You like committed to the theme. So that has been my favorite form of exercise, is that they do a really good job of themes. So I'm really excited for their Christmas ones because I know it's going to be amazing.
That is very fun. It's just a fun way to spice things up, right?
Yeah, like why not? Why not?
Yeah. It's fun. Whatever gets you moving, and music can be a game changer when
for real.
Really getting things going and building that momentum and just getting excited for it. So I love that. And I think that is one of the fun aspects of group fitness is just being able to lean to the theme and, it's like not take this shit so serious. So that's so much fun. I have nothing fun to compare to that. I'm boring. I'm still just doing my same old boring lifting and some runs, but we are heading into kind of perfect golf weather season.
Ooh, nice.
Which also means the snowbirds are starting to make their way down. And Ruben and I golfed on Sunday, and we were walking, but we were caught behind the two ahead was a foursome of older people, like grandparents old, probably 70s, 80s, and then the couple in front of us, husband and wife, older, and they were so freaking slow. And I was like, do your thing, but man, they were slow. And the grandpa, I was like, somebody, kudos to the guy, but he was hitting back where Ruben was hitting, and then like hitting dribblers. Like, bro, by the time he got up to where he should have been hitting, that was like his third shot. So again, love that people are still doing it, and love that we're heading into that season of perfect golf weather, but more of that's gonna start coming out. And one day I will be at that point and people are gonna be like, you're so slow, but that's what's happening now. So that's my kind of activity.
I can't imagine actually hitting every single shot in
also,
golf.
Yeah, like the commitment to that. Like, dude, if I'm hitting a max of like 4 shots on the green, and if they don't, or on the fairway, if they don't get to the green at that point, like, that's it. I'm calling it quits, or I'm just going up to the flag.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so that's mine. Again, not as exciting. But next, I would love to hear, are there any favorite books that you've been reading recently? And I guess fall, like when I was typing this, I was kind of thinking of like now, but again, this can be September as well, and October.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously November hasn't happened yet, but anything that you've been reading that you've enjoyed, or even audiobooks could count.
Yeah, I haven't really had any good audiobooks lately. I've been in a rut. But that's because I've primarily done the professional development ones, and I'm just like,
I know, and it's
snooze.
Like, you could type podcasts into here as well, I feel like.
True. But a really good one that I've recently read, I'm just looking, is, one we did, so that Boost Cycle place does a book club.
Oh, fun.
But the last 2 books they've done, I've already read. So I was like, okay, well. But one was in theme with Halloween for October, which was The Dead Romantics.
Ooh.
It's just this really cute little rom-com-y situation where there's ghosts of the family in the house that they're at. And it's like talking to the ghost, pretty much. And the ghost helping them find their like love story. So that one was cute. That was like a good Halloween-themed book, and it was an easy read. And then I recently read and watched The Perfect Couple.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the title of the book. I was like, I don't get it. Okay, so the one that's now a Netflix series.
Yeah, and I liked both. I liked the book version, and I liked how they had to adapt it for TV because they had to make some changes, and people were like mad. But I'm like, no,
I know. I was just gonna say, I saw some people not love how Netflix did the book, which I haven't read the book or watched the series.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense, the change they made because of putting it on TV. I was like, I don't know why people are so offended by this.
Okay, so it's still worth watching.
Yeah, I think it's both. And then, I would say, and I tried the Wolf Den series, which kind of reminded me of Mistress of Rome.
Oh.
It's about like ancient, I think they're in Greece, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's about a brothel. And these women were like, captured as slaves and then forced to work because slave ownership was still a thing. And it was good, but it just like didn't hit me the same. So I'm still chasing that same Mistress of Rome high that we had years ago.
Yeah, that was a great series.
It really was. And then maybe the last thing I'll say is The Lioness of Morocco was a really good historical fiction book about the daughter of a merchant in London who married a guy so she could go to Morocco with him. And
I would do the same. Just kidding.
She was a wanderlust, and she's like, well, I have to get married. But I want to leave, so I'll marry this guy. And it's her story. So I guess those are my book suggestions, Em. What about yours?
Okay, well, at the beginning, you were like, I don't have any. And then you just listed off like 4 good books.
I pulled up my Kindle app.
Oh, you know what? I need to start a good read. Everyone always tells me, start a good read, but it kind of stresses me out to think of having to actually review the books. Because reviewing books, I'm like, I liked it, or I didn't really. Like, I get stressed about giving things stars or actual ratings. So
I know.
I don't know.
Same.
I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, I have one more.
Okay.
That's a good theme. I know these are all Halloween themed, so it's a little late.
It's fall.
But the one is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. And it's
Ooh.
so cute. It's such a cute book, and it's a story. It's obviously there's a love aspect of it, duh.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a story of like friendship and sisterhood, and it is so cute. I love it.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm going on the same theme. Mine kind of, well, one of mine ties more into the kind of Halloween vibe. So
Mm.
for our October book club, we read Bride by Allie Hazelwood. And
Ooh, is that
Allie
good?
Hazelwood has done, or I think a lot, she does a lot of the rom-coms. I think you gave me one of her books. There was like Love Theoretically, or so you like years ago randomly had a book and you're like, oh, do you want this? And I think it might have been Allie Hazelwood. I don't know if I ever actually read it, but maybe not. I'm gonna have to look in my
Okay.
bookcase. But this one is Bride. It's about a a vampire girl of a very important councilman has to marry the were alpha. And it sounds like, okay, this sounds cheesy, but it's so good. And I've not read her other books, but it does get spicy. So
Mm.
not like, I would say super, super crazy, but spicy. And
Spicy
so,
warning.
yeah, so like rom-com tied into, some fantasy. So kind of fantasy romance, fantasy rom-com. And it was an easy read. I really enjoyed it. And I'm such a person, I love series. And I don't think she really dives into series, but she left this one not on a cliffhanger, but with two other characters in the book, there could be another book telling their
Yeah.
story. So I'm like, ooh, maybe I'm glad I read this one because maybe she could turn it into another
Yeah.
book or maybe two others. Because I am such a serious girl. I get really invested in
Oh,
characters,
that's
and I'm like,
so
I want to
funny.
know more.
My the one coworker who I've done book club with for years now, since I
Mm-hmm.
worked at Beta Rudder, her and I were just complaining about series.
See,
Like,
I
we're
love
so
it.
tired of series. We just want one story and then we move on to the next. But we're both very like type A. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. On to the next.
No, see, I need to
On to the
now
next
that
one.
you've introduced me to characters in a love story. I need to know everything,
Oh,
and
I'll just make up what happens in my head.
no, no. So I'm a serious girl then, I guess you could say. I will read books that are just one by themselves, but I really do love myself a good series. And I feel like I finished Sarah J. Maas last year and then her new one at the beginning of this year. And even since then, I feel like I've not gotten that high yet. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I like to be committed to knowing what the storyline is.
Oh, that's so, because you know what? I think that was my problem with The Wolf Den. Is like the first one I really liked, and the second one I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh God, we're still
Well,
doing
yeah,
this.
like there are some series that it doesn't stay as high, but
Yeah.
I love like Sarah J. Maas. All of her series continuously got better, so it
Mm.
just he
I
kept
am
getting
gonna
more into
do.
it.
I am gonna do Sarah J. Maas this fall.
Okay, because yeah, you started Crescent City. That is the worst one to start with because it's
Literally,
ginormous. It's
the only
scary. It's
thing
huge.
I read the first one, but the second one and third one I bought, assuming I would love it, and maybe I will
Mm-hmm.
after I read the other ones. The
Mm-hmm.
purpose they're serving right now is my laptop stand.
But they're big enough. They're ginormous. Yeah, you dove into like it's good. When I say the worst, like the hardest series to get into.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this Bryce girl's still going. Jesus.
Yeah, she's not my favorite female main character
No,
out
she's
of her books.
annoying. It's like, oh my God. Like, get over
Yeah,
yourself, Bryce.
I know. You need to read the other ones then because
Yeah, I will.
Crescent City's my least favorite out of the three.
Oh, good. I'm glad we chose that one to start.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all did that, but next time consult with me. Two other books that I've read, and these tie into a series, would be, and one of these, this was my book club recommendation. I think we read this for September. So it was How Does It Feel? And the second, it's going to be 3 or 4 books, I think. But the first one is How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. And then the second one is What Did You Do? And those two are out. So I read both of those back to back. And they are about the first one, like a female scientist falls through a portal into the fairy realm. And like the evil prince of that, it sounds like it's a kid book when you're describing it, but this is very much not a children's book. Do not read if you're a child. She falls into that and like is butting heads with the evil like prince of the dark realm, basically.
Oh, and
And
obviously they fall in love. Duh.
you'll see. So it's
Oh,
dark
you'll
fantasy.
see.
Yeah, yeah. Because the second book switches it up a little bit. So it's dark fantasy romance, spicy, and the first book it's kind of enemies to not full on lovers yet. But then the second book, there's a third brought in where it's kind of like a little love triangle thing going on.
Ooh,
And
even better. She
yes,
has
there's magic.
options. She has options.
Yes, there's magic, there's fantasy thrown in. And the third book, I was just looking because I was like, I can't remember what it's called. And now I can't remember. But the third one comes out, I think, in January, which is also when the next Fourth Wing book comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone like Fourth Wing fans, I think that's going to be a big month for me for books. But that's currently kind of what I've been reading. And I don't think I had any more sneak in there, but those are my books. So
yeah, the last one I'll say is I was like, what am I supposed to be reading this month? Which I'm for our November book club.
Yeah,
The Lion Women of Tehran, Thran, an evocative read and a powerful portrait of friendship, feminism, and political activism. Oh, Tehran, Iran. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's in the 1950s. So I always think I always really like these books, the historical fiction from like a woman's point of view, because big events are always told from the male perspective.
Yeah.
And that's what Kristen Hanna does a really good job of. So it's like, okay, what's it like to be a 7-year-old girl living through this?
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that we're bringing in more perspectives.
Yeah. So, okay. What's next, Em? What's our next favorite?
All right. Well, we've given everyone a ton of book ideas to read. And next, keeping it entertainment, but a favorite movie or show that you've watched recently.
Oh, this is where I should have put Gremlins.
Well, is it your favorite?
No.
So you did it. But is it a favorite? So does anything else come to mind? I have two.
Oh,
yeah. Three. Okay.
So my favorite of all time is Great British Baking Show.
Okay. Yeah. You and Aaron talk about that a lot.
It's so good. You have to watch it. Literally, like Prue is my angel. I think it's because she reminds me of Gigi. Like she's a British Gigi. So I love Great British Baking Show. Oh my God, it's the best. And this season's really good. Like the people on this season, there isn't a single person I dislike. I was like, there's usually a villain on the show for me. Villain. Yeah. As much as like a British person making biscuits can be a villain. And then I've also been watching Gilmore Girls because I've never watched that.
I know. I'm not either, but everyone always leans into the Gilmore Girl aesthetic, right?
Yeah. And it's good. But, I mean, the characters drive me nuts. They all suck.
Are they a little too vanilla?
It's very 90s is what I'll say. And everyone's always like, are you team Lorelai, Rory, or Emily? And
I hate all of them.
Yeah, I was like, they all suck. Like, what do you mean? They're all literally the worst ever.
Just like very pick-me energy through the show, or?
I don't even know how to explain it. They're just such, they're all brats.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and they're in high school, right? Or like, I don't, but
Lorelai,
the daughter's in high school, right?
Lorelai, the mom, has such a chip on her shoulder for no reason. And she acts like a teenager.
Oh,
I don't know. It's still, I can't stop watching it. It's addicting. So it's a good, like, easy fall show when I don't know what to put on and I don't feel like reading. I'm like, and there's only one Great British Baking Show once a week, and I've already watched the other Netflix series like twice each. Oh, God. Okay. I guess I'll watch Gilmore Girls. So
yeah,
those are my two right now. And then one that Joe and I are watching is the Penguin. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, with Colin Farrell.
Yeah, because I think it's Farrell or whatever. It is so good.
Yeah, it's from the Batman universe.
Yeah, because it's like a Batman version of The Sopranos, and we love The Sopranos.
Oh, wow. And because he's a gangster, the Penguin.
Yeah, and his, like, rival in the show is Sophia, who's also a gangster, and she's a badass. I'm like, Team Sophia.
Oh, I love it.
She's awesome. Yeah. So,
we don't have HBO Max, so... you guys have a login? Give it to me.
Gotta talk to Joe.
Why'd you pause on that?
Gotta talk to Joe. I don't control the logins.
Okay, well, you're married, so yeah, you can.
I think Tyler's on our account.
We'll kick him off. He doesn't listen. He's not gonna know.
But yeah, we'll download. We'll subscribe and unsubscribe as shows come on.
Yeah. There's so many subscriptions you can download.
Yeah. But so what about you, Em? What are you watching?
Okay, so I officially wrapped up Sex in the City.
Nice.
And that's not new, of course, but I don't know why I never watched it, and I watched it and I loved it. And kind of like you and the characters in Gilmore Girls, I don't love Carrie, and I feel like that's the universal experience.
The worst. Carrie is the freaking worst.
Well, and I think, that's the universal experience, right? So obviously that's how they wrote the character, because she's such a pick-me girl sometimes, and just so, just acts like a jerk, and then expects everyone else to cater to her.
Did you see the Megan Thee Stallion interview with Jimmy Fallon about it? She was like, Carrie wakes up and it's like, how can I ruin somebody's day today and be cute while doing it?
Pretty much, because then I watched the 2 movies after, because I watched the series, oh God, what's it called? The new one, where they're all older, and just like that.
And just like that, it's super political.
Oh, God.
Like, they definitely made that show to make a statement. So if that's what you're into, you will love it. Yeah, if that's not what you're into, it'll be that's annoying.
Not why I'm watching Sex in the City.
No, I'm not here for you to make a statement. I'm here for Carrie to be the worst and for me to have a reason to hate her.
Yeah, and but it's so funny. Like, this series actually makes you laugh out loud, and it's just, you can see somewhere like old diet culture gets tied into, and just some of the stuff say about women, like Miranda has a baby and has to go lose weight, and she's like 150 pounds. I'm like, all right, fuck this. But again, that was the thing back then.
Yeah, or even like the gay culture in that show is like so that show is so cancelable, if that's a word. I think that's why they did the new show so like
offset it.
They like went as woke as possible to offset.
But it fits though in the like the 90s, early 2000s. That's what it was. The culture was like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked it, and the movies are. I'm glad I watched them, and Ruben and I also randomly. It's only 6 episodes, but binged the Mr. McMahon series on Netflix. The guy who basically blew up WWE.
Oh, yeah. I've is that good?
It's good because it is intriguing because I don't watch wrestling. Like, I don't know anyone who does, but it's ginormous. Like, wrestling is huge, and it's only continuously got bigger with social media now, and he's not in it anymore because he's not really a good person. But so it's just very intriguing of how he got it to that point, and he was pretty ruthless in doing so. So it's like, dang, that's admirable, but then it's also like I don't think he has feelings. So it was just intriguing because Ruben watched a little bit of episode 1. I'm like, whatever, I'll tune in. And then, you're drawn in to see how it happens. And there's not many series that Ruben and I actually finished together. And that was one of them, along with, since I guess we're talking about fall in general, the Menendez brothers show. So we watched that one too.
I couldn't do it, the Menendez, because Ryan Murphy just had to add in elements that like weren't ever necessarily a part of the news cycle or the book that it's based off of. At no point are the brothers ever portrayed, or nobody's ever wondered, or it's never been reported that people wondered if the brothers were also gay together. I'm like,
like Ryan Murphy tied in the American Horror Story element to it.
Why did you have to make them gay for each other when that wasn't actually something that they did? Like, I don't mind like team gay people. I don't know, but not when they're brothers. Like, even if it was a brother and a sister, it would be weird.
Yeah. So weird. But on a lighter note, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm thinking of your Sex in the City experience, and you need to watch the Megan Thee Stallion interview with Jimmy Fallon. It's so funny how she talks about all the characters. And then there's a girl on Instagram who does a really funny Steve impression. He's always like, Moanda? And she, since it's Halloween, she goes around finding orange things in New York City, and it's Steve going, Moanda? And it turns it's like a pumpkin.
That's hilarious. That's pretty funny, actually.
It's so funny. Yeah. And Megan Thee Stallion's like, Steve's the best character in the show.
He is pretty funny. Adds a good element to it.
So, I digress.
I love it. And then, quickly, I've been loving The Voice, but I've already talked about that, so We don't have to dive into that. But yeah, still loving The Voice and recommend everyone watching it just for a feel-good show. And if you like good singing, very, very good. Okay. Our next ones, I would say these two kind of tie together. We could talk about them together.
Okay.
Is a favorite meal or recipe that you've been making lately, and then also like a favorite food product. So do you have any on the top of your head?
Oh, well, meal, one that's coming to my mind is I've made this 2 weeks in a row now.
Oh, okay. So
And
definitely a fave.
yeah, so we've always, as a family, liked Mississippi pot roast with
Yeah.
beef, but I've been making it with chicken. And it is,
I still
oh
need
my
to make
God,
this.
it is so good. And this week we put it over mashed potatoes with green beans on the side. I was like, that feels like
Ooh.
a cold weather meal because it's
Yep.
briskier. And so what it is just a bunch of chicken, whatever, put chicken breasts in the slow cooker, and then au jus gravy powder, ranch powder. I put a stick of butter on top, like
Oh,
spread it
no
out.
wonder it's good.
Oh my God, so good. And then peppercini juice and pepperoncinis, and then I also put some dill pickle juice in it.
Oh, I
And
like
then
this
you
spin.
slow cook it, and like the chicken shreds perfectly.
Yep.
And it's not really, it's kind of a gravy, but not a gravy, but like the juice sauce in it
Yeah.
over mashed potatoes because it has a little bite. Oh my God, it is so good. When
Ooh.
Joe eats dinner with his phone down and not talking, you know the meal is good.
That's when you know. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta try it. And I've
It's
done it
so
with beef.
good.
My swap is because I don't love spice necessarily. I'm a weenie, whatever. I'm super vanilla. I do banana peppers instead of pepperoncinis.
Oh, yeah. Try it with pickle juice too. Because
Very
one
fun.
time I didn't have any pepperoncinis. All I had were bread and butter pickles, and actually bread and butter juice works really well too.
Ew, I hate bread and butter.
Okay, well, don't do that then.
Maybe it would be better with other things, but I would just rather avoid that at all cost. Okay, so for me, I've been loving harvest bowls just because you can throw whatever it is in there, but
team
like
bowls.
roasted veggies, maybe some sort of grain on the bottom or a sweet potato, and then I love beef. I love ground beef. I could eat it all the
Yeah.
time with everything, but I really just like it. And I made one recently. There was some roasted veggies, kale, beef. What did I pair it with? I think on top of God, I can't even remember now. Oh, potatoes. But then I just want it because I like adding feta and then some sort of sauce or dressing. I guess you would put on a salad. And mine recently has been like some garlic hummus, some apple cider vinegar with lemon, and some olive oil. I really just eat it for that, like the feta and the dressing on top. But you can customize it to whatever. So I've been on that kind of kick, and I've I made two versions of a chili cornbread skillet, and I did a ranch one, and then I did a taco one, and they're both very good. And the ranch one blew up on Instagram and TikTok, so
Yeah.
I think that one might be the fave for
You
everyone.
know, I feel like it's whenever you crave an ingredient, like you cook around that. So it's like,
Yes,
ooh, I really
yeah,
want
I really
feta.
wanted
What can I eat that has feta in it? That made me think of another one when you're like, I just really wanted feta because something I've been loving is Land O'Lakes made fall flavored butters.
yes,
They had a pumpkin spice and a maple. The pumpkin spice is good, it's fine, whatever. But the maple one is so we've been
Ooh,
putting that on toast, and then like you put that on toast, then some flaky sea salt on top.
yum.
Oh my God. I have to stop myself at 2 pieces of toast in the morning
Literally.
because it's so good. But because the like
Bread and butter,
Ballerina
you can't
Farm.
beat it.
Well, no, and plus the cheese gal on Instagram who has been showing up in my algorithm more, and then Ballerina Farms, obviously, my girl. They love flaky sea salt. So I'm like, what could I put flaky sea salt on? So I've just been
Everything.
finding things to put that
To
on.
sprinkle it on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, that sounds delicious. And that actually kind of ties into one of a food product that I've just been loving lately is granola butter. So granola butter is from Oat Haus. That's
Oat Haus.
Oat Haus. And it's literally like ground up oats and they mix it with, different flavoring. So it's not really macro friendly. It's not very high in protein, but dude, it's so good. And yeah, I can put it on toast and it's like, I just want to eat 1,000 pieces of this. But the original flavor reminds me of cookie butter. Like that's the kind of taste that it has, but it's a different texture. And they also currently have a apple cider like flavored one.
Mm.
And it's so good. So I like it on toast, oatmeal. So I'm putting oats on oatmeal basically because that's what it is. And then also if I want a snack, like a single serve Greek yogurt or, just a
Yeah.
bowl of vanilla, and then you spread that on top.
Yeah.
It tastes like pie, but oh my gosh, I have been on a granola butter kick, and it's great for anyone who potentially has any allergies. I think it's just one that's made without any like nuts or anything in that capacity. So, have you had granola butter yet?
No, I need to though, because I love
so
cookie
good.
butter.
Yeah. And it's
So
it's not even like better macros at all than cookie butter.
no.
So they're both kind of more indulgent, but I can't get enough of it. And they just sent me a DM. They're going to send me some more. So I'm like, yes.
You need to start getting people to send cowgirl talk things, because then that includes me.
Oh, you just, well, they're DMing Dairy Girl Fitness. Sorry.
Well, tell them like I'm trying to grow my other brand, and there's another person here who can help give
There's
glowing
like
reviews.
Desperate for some PR packages.
I've gotten sent 2 things before. One was popcorn, and that was good. And one time Fairlife sent me ice cream, a cooler of it.
Yes, I remember that.
And I was like,
I think we both got it. Like that was what 2020 now at this point. I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Phoebe. Do you hear that?
I hear like snuffing around. What is she doing?
Choking on something. Sorry, I'm gonna pause cowgirl talk. That was weird.
Making sure that Phoebe's okay.
Yeah, look, that was weird.
She good?
Yeah, she's good.
Okay, moving on.
Sorry, cowgirl talk. That just scared me. That was weird. She probably just gagged on her own tongue or something.
Yeah, dogs are weird, man.
so
weird. But yeah, I've been loving granola butter. And then also, we mentioned this on our dairy episode, but the lactate protein milk, it's so good. I bought more yesterday.
We don't have that in our store.
Losers.
I know. Losers indeed.
Well, you already like lactate, so I'm sure it tastes just like that, but it has more protein.
Yeah. So,
but those are mine.
I look for it. Yeah, man. I think that's it for me for now.
No fave, like a current food product upset. Well, the maple butter.
The maple butter and flaky sea salt.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of, and the Manuka honey. Oh my God.
Yep.
I've been putting that in my coffee. Like I've been eating a spoonful and then putting some in my coffee every morning, and I have been loving it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Which I think translates nicely into the favorite fall coffee item that we want to talk about.
I tied this in here and I was like, I don't even really know what mine is because I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of fun coffees recently. I don't know. We've just been traveling a lot and like eating a lot of other food. I'm like, I'm going to scale it back on the bougie, calorie heavy coffees, but I feel like pumpkin's always the main one during the fall, which that's good. But I love when maple is tied into flavor. So you're talking about maple sea salt. There's one in Rhode Island, so I've never been there, but it's the Nitro Bar. They do like a maple sea salt latte and it looks so good. So if I could pick a flavor, like I love maple tied in. There's a local coffee shop near us that does a blueberry maple pancake latte.
Ooh,
so
yum.
That one's good for fall. I did have that. And then also another one near us, which probably is not a very typical fall flavor, but it's called Doxa Coffee. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show before, but it's started by 2 dairy people that we grew up with in Junior Holstein. Austin and Emily.
Austin and Emily, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're 2 dairy kids that started a coffee shop years ago, and it's near me, about 20 minutes. It's called Doxa Coffee Co., and they do like specialty coffee, and they have a fall flavor called Coquito coffee. So Coquito is a Puerto Rican cocktail typically, and it's almost like Puerto Rican version of eggnog, and it's very coconut based. And so y'all know I'm not like a milk alternative girl, but this thing is delicious. It has about I think 3 different versions of coconut in it, but they turn it into a coffee drink. So I think it's like a latte. It's 2 shots of espresso added in, and if you like coconut and it has some really nice fall spices thrown into it, it's so good. And they do it iced. So
Well, I
That's my
feel
current
like
favorite fall coffee.
coconut is not used as like a milk replacement or a milk
Yeah, it's just
alternative.
so different. It's like
It's
it's very thick,
used,
it's sweet.
yeah, it's used for the coconut flavor and the
Uh-huh.
purpose of coconut. I love that. I feel like we don't have any maple options. I'm trying to think of one place I
Mm.
could get a maple coffee, and I can't think of anything.
Ooh, you gotta.
My favorite has been though, oh my god, the pumpkin chais
I know. I was thinking of
anywhere.
that too, but I was like,
Oh, they're
no, I have
so
to think of something
good.
else.
Well,
It is. It
pumpkin
really
chai
is.
is unique, and then probably the other one that we've been getting a lot, if we ever go to Dunkin', like our weekend coffee splurge, is the nutty pumpkin from Dunkin', and it's
Mm,
hazelnut and pumpkin. So I've also been doing that at home with our hazelnut Nespressos, and then our pumpkin cream or like pumpkin flavored whatever coffee creamer. But I am getting excited for the fall, for the winter flavors because I
I know.
love peppermint and coffee.
Yes,
I love
and
it.
you were speaking of Dunkin'. This isn't fall, but the Dunkin' latte from Dunkin',
Mm-hmm.
so freaking
Well, they
good
literally use their coffee milk, which is caffeinated milk, and they
with
put it into their
espresso.
coffee.
Yeah, it's delicious. If anyone
Yeah,
needs to try it, it's definitely probably a lot of caffeine. So just I don't know, but a good
it's.
amount.
We were talking the other day of how these coffee shops aren't selling coffee; they're selling caffeinated milk. Literally,
Basically, which we're here
literally
for it as dairy
caffeinated
girls.
milk. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what. This doesn't sound as cool though when you brand it that way.
And it also doesn't make sense why a grande pumpkin spice latte is over $7.
Yeah,
Like
just
Starbucks has it figured out, those margins.
dude, it's expensive. So that's also probably why I'm just like, okay, I need to relax on the fall coffee. But all these sound delicious, and I had a fun little latte this morning. Maybe I'll snag a fun one later today
Mm-hmm.
in lieu of this. And moving on from favorite fall coffee or just food in general, as a passive been around food, the next two, they're similar but different. So would love to hear if you've had, and I feel like you, I don't know, neither of us are crazy into like maybe jumping on certain trends, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe like fashion fit or a trend that you've been loving recently. And that'll kind of go into our next one. I'm very boring on this. I feel like I see all the cool things, but I try to keep
Yeah,
a capsule wardrobe and
same.
really keep things pretty basic. Like I don't need to buy all the shit that I see on TikTok and wherever it is, Amazon,
Yep.
which it's all very cute, but something that I've enjoyed that is, I guess you could say, kind of on trend. It's just the like comfy baggy look.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like the big jeans and
Mm-hmm.
a like big sweater on top. So
Yeah.
I love a big cozy sweater. And then I even bought a pair of baggy low rise jeans from Hollister. And
Ugh.
no, they're so comfy though. Honestly, they're
You're
like more comfortable. And I'm not going to wear it with, it's not like low rise where it cuts in and makes you look bad. Since it's baggy, right? Like it still fits very well.
mm-hmm.
And they're honestly more comfortable. Because sometimes when you sit in high rise or even mid rise, it feels like it's suffocating you when you sit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it juts into your stomach. And then I wear those low rise, big baggy ones from Hollister, and they're so comfortable. And they look like sweatpants, but they're
Yeah.
jeans. So it's acceptable and put together. So that's a look that I'm enjoying. And it's hot in
Yeah.
Florida. So I wear sweaters when I can.
I can't do the baggy jeans. I'm too short. Like too
Okay.
much
Yeah.
baggy on me. I look like a walking trash bag. Like I'm too short. So I have been, I really do like the burgundy color that's trending.
Oh, I've
So
seen the one, it's like cherry, like dark
yeah,
cherry.
it's like a dark
Yeah.
cherry. So like you, I'm buying less and renting. I'm renting
Oh,
more. So
yeah.
we have a wedding in December that I was like, ooh, I love this color. So I rented a like kind of like plunging halter neck velvet dress. That's kind of a
Ooh.
burgundy purple color.
Very winter vibes. Love that.
Oh, I was like, ooh, okay, I like this color trend. So I like that. I love the fall blonde trend of hair,
Yep.
like the warmer glazes. So I did that. And then I feel like capsule wardrobes are kind of trending right now, which you and I
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron have been building. I feel like this is so silly, but over the last 2 or 3 years, especially with our beach trips and our favorite
Mm-hmm.
store, Patty Jeans,
Yeah.
um, I feel like we've been really focused on building a better capsule wardrobe. Like
Yep.
even the one I packed for Expo this year, that was Erin's commentary on it. So things like Patty Jeans, Quince, even Terra Boutique here in town. I don't know. I just love that kind of the neutrals in the clothes that you can wear with different things have been trending. So Quince is really making a podcast run. They're on like the 2 or 3 podcasts I listen to. They're a sponsor. I'm like, I was there first.
Oh, maybe one day, speaking
Yeah.
it to an existence.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that vibe.
Yeah, I love that. And I have seen more rental companies have become more popular,
Yeah.
which I love, right?
Yeah.
Less waste.
Ooh, another one, last one, I promise, are the fun vests. Because I love vests.
Oh,
Obviously, I'm
yeah.
wearing one.
Yeah.
This is actually from the Dairy Girl Network conference. Remember this?
Ooh.
Farm Chick's Closet, another great
Yep.
boutique. But 2 that are trending are like leather puffer vests, which are awesome, and then corduroy, and then another trend that I love. Sorry,
So
Tucker.
you
I
do
do
follow
Tucker
along.
Nuck. Oh god, they're so expensive though, so I haven't bit the bullet yet. But it's like corduroy or kind of canvas jackets, then with a corduroy collar. So there's the different textures. And there's a Ralph Lauren jacket and a Tucker Nuck jacket that I've been eyeing up. The Tucker Nuck's like a $600 jacket.
Damn.
I'm never gonna buy that. Quince though might make one.
Yeah.
So
like
I'm
a
just
dupe.
waiting for Quince to make their dupe, and then I'll buy it.
Oh, I love all of that. And I feel like maybe I don't follow.
Rich, equestrian kind of girl that lives in London. That's the energy it's giving.
Ooh. Yeah, living our double life in that. And yeah, I feel like maybe I don't follow these things as much anymore because I'm in Florida and me just getting to wear a sweater is a pretty big thing for me now. So it's like I don't need to buy, I could, but I don't have the opportunity to wear a lot of the heavier items anymore.
Yeah.
So I love that for you. I'll vicariously live through everyone in their very cute, cozy fall fashion. And on fashion, I guess you could say, a quick rapid fire is a favorite Halloween fit. Since we're recording this on Halloween, I know it's after, but a favorite Halloween fit that you've seen or that you've worn in the past.
Okay, I'm excited to be Carly and Ricky Bobby this weekend. So that was fun. A rapid fire of just fun things we've done. Last year we were going to be Colonel Sanders and a chicken, but Colonel Sanders never showed up for Joe, so he was a farmer instead. So it was like a farmer and his rooster, which was interesting. And then in college, when I did Kesha once, that was really good. We did with our friends Farmer Ella and her barnyard crew.
Yeah, I was a cow.
That was fun. Yeah, cow in quotes.
I had a bra on and then boxer shorts with tights.
Yeah, I liked my sheep. I glued a bunch of cotton balls all over a white dress, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, I've been Lola and Bugs Bunny before. Like, that was a fun couple's costume back in the day. I was a holy cow once.
Love that.
So, Em, what about you? Those are some of my faves.
Okay, well, I realized at the beginning, I was like, I can't tell y'all my outfit yet. But by the time we release this, y'all will have already been able to see my outfit. So I'm going to be Justin Bieber for Halloween
and
this
Ruben
year.
Should be Hailey Bieber.
Yes, now it all makes sense. We can talk about it. I was like, wait, this is coming out after anyways.
Get him a big bubble E necklace.
So yeah, I had a wig from last year, which that's my favorite outfit ever last year. I was Amanda Bynes, She's the Man character, because out of any celebrity, people have always been like, you look like Amanda Bynes. And I dressed up as her and I felt like I was the character. People literally thought I was Amanda Bynes resurrected in that role.
People I saw for like weeks were commenting on how crazy it was. And I mean, people who you wouldn't expect to be following you, like random people in Hollidaysburg that are not, they're like outside of our realm of people that are like, oh my God, your sister. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be reposting that and nothing will ever top that for me. So that's my favorite. Nothing else. And honestly, it still wasn't even like a ton of effort put into it, but that's my most clever Halloween outfit. And honestly, kind of the most thought I've put into something. So that'll always, I think, be my top. I almost did it again this year and just wore like the soccer fit version, but I thought the wig.
Different versions of She's the Man, like a series.
Yeah, I still have time, but my Justin Bieber fit, it arrives today. I only have to get a few items, but
that's awesome.
I'm excited.
You're
And
gonna look hilarious with that wig.
I
And the
know, the
flippy
freaking
hair.
wig.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's so
I was
funny.
obsessed with Justin Bieber, so fits. It's full circle. If I can't meet him, I will become him. And then to wrap it up before we head into our weekly hot take, just a random fave. Is there anything that you've been loving that we
Oh,
missed?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Amelia girl from Chicken Shop Date.
She's everywhere right
Oh
now.
my god, I never knew she existed. Then she had that date with Andrew Garfield, which
That
like
was the
is
first time seeing her. You're not on TikTok though.
yeah, literally that was better
Yeah.
than any rom-com movie or book I've ever read. That scene, I had to have watched it like 1,000 times. I
That's
was like,
hilarious.
this is what they're missing in rom-coms. This is real. And then the brands that were commenting on it, I was like, this is gold. And if they don't actually get together, I'm unfollowing her. But now she's all over my Instagram because I
Yep.
think I watched the video so many times.
Mm-hmm.
But for Halloween, she dressed up as the office lady from Monsters
Angela?
Inc.
Oh,
No, from
sorry.
Monsters
I thought you
Inc.
meant like
That's
from The
like
Office.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, the
She dressed up as
worm
her.
thing.
It's literally one of the greatest costumes I've ever seen. You
I'll
have to go look at it. She
I
said,
will after this.
whatever her name is, the original office siren. So it's
That's
crazy because
hilarious.
she posted a couple warnings on her stories that were like, okay,
This is terrifying.
boys who I have a crush on, you know who you are. Please unfollow me for the next 72 hours. I'm posting my Halloween content. And it is unbelievable. So I'm really glad that her date happened. So I discovered her because she makes me laugh.
She is very, very funny. Okay. Mine are about music. So I've already talked about Love Sabrina Carpenter's album. That has been on repeat for me. But then also two songs that I just heard in the past week. Rock Steady, which is a new release. I think it just came out by Megan Thee Stallion. It's literally so good. It's only 2 minutes. I wish it was 10. It takes the beat of Goodies by Cassie
Sierra.
from like years. Is it Sierra? Oh yeah, sorry. Sierra from years ago. So you already know. It's so good. I'm just like, oh my God. Everyone has to listen to it immediately.
I love Megan Thee Stallion.
It's an immediate confidence boost. It's like never in a competition with anyone but me. And that's how it starts. And with the beat, it's so freaking good. Please, everyone, listen to it. Rock Steady by Meg Thee Stallion and someone else tied into it. I can't remember.
I keep
Another
calling
female
her
rapper.
Megan Thee Stallion, like giving her a formal name. It's Meg Thee Stallion, by the way. Sorry.
Listen to it, whatever you call her. And then another one, which this one is, it's funny, but it's really good. So if y'all don't know, Glorilla, she's a female rapper.
I love Glorilla.
So she's hilarious. Her Tennessee accent's hilarious. And a lot of her songs, a little bit raunchy.
They're pretty hood. Like, they're what you would describe as hood.
On her new album, she has a gospel song called Rain on Me. And it's with two guys, and then Maverick City Music, which is like Christian music. And it's so good. And then
it's a Christian song?
Dude, it's so good though. Like, because there fitness girl I follow, she's like, when you're like shaking your ass and then this rains down on you. So it's called Rain on Me by Glorilla. It's really good. Like, it's funny. She ties rap into it, but it's a good song. It's a feel-good song. And then it's also just funny because it's coming from Glorilla. And then her next song is like singing about her moose knuckle. And I'm like, girl.
Yeah, like Rain on Me, I think stripper.
Yeah, no, it's like rain your good graces on me, Lord.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that because Glorilla is one of those people that comes on at the gym and me, the whitest girl ever, like my Howdy Cowgirl Halloween shirt, and Glorilla comes on and I'm bumping, you know.
Yeah, so it's fantastic. Definitely recommend everyone listen to both those songs. It's a feel good song. Sorry if some people might be like, I can't listen to this. But if you're willing to listen to other people's version of their relationship and their music with the Lord, it's very good. So that's fine. I had to throw those in there. And speaking of music, it ties into the weekly hot take. Since this will be released, it's officially November. Halloween's over. Get out of here, spooky season. How early is too early to start listening to Christmas music?
You've got to wait.
Wrong.
This is so irritating. People are talking about
Oh, what a
Christmas
Grinch.
No, people are talking about Christmas decorations before Halloween has even happened.
Okay.
Like, if you're gonna shove pumpkin spice at me in August and then shove Christmas at me before Halloween, let things happen. Let things
Mm-hmm.
happen. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to listen to it starting November 1st, I'm fine with that. But I
Okay.
prefer Thanksgiving time frame.
Dumb.
I want to let Halloween happen. I want to let
What happened?
I want to let the Thanksgiving marinate in some colder
Oh, do you have
fall.
Thanksgiving music you listen to?
No, it's just like I don't know. I like to wait until Thanksgiving to give I feel like whenever you overextend things, Halloween's a perfect example. People are already over it by the time Halloween comes. I just think people ruin
Nope.
things.
No, I could listen to Christmas music year round. It's
Okay.
the nostalgic for me that's tied into it. It's not even like Christmas is fun, but I'm not jumping ahead. Like, I love Thanksgiving, I love all the holiday season, but Christmas music for me just is such a happy feeling. It's so nostalgic. It just brings so many happy emotions for me. And Florida doesn't have seasons, right? And also, I'm not near family all the time anymore. So for me, it's just something that just brings this warm, cozy feeling that you can't always get. So I don't listen to it until maybe starting tomorrow, which will be November 1st as we're recording this. So I do wait until post Halloween. But also, yeah, there's no Thanksgiving music. And I agree on decorations. Like, I wait for decorations and all of those things. But for music, like, I love Christmas music regardless of when I'm listening to it, right? It's
Hmm.
happy, it's good music. So I could listen to it anytime, but more so for me, it's just like the nostalgic and the happy feelings it brings. I'm immediately diving into it. And I love songs you can sing to.
Hmm.
Christmas music you can sing along to. So, oh, I'm excited for Christmas music ASAP.
Yeah. I'm a Thanksgiving girl on the decorations and the music. Now, mind you, if you see me in my car singing Mariah Carey before Thanksgiving,
Mind
mind
your
your
business.
business. Because it's on, I
Yeah,
have to listen to
she's
it.
gonna listen to it, I feel like, once
It's
or
just, I
twice.
don't intentionally put things on until then. Because I
Mhm.
truly do feel like people ruin things. I think
You
people
can't ruin
overdo
Christmas
it.
music.
I think people just during this season can't allow things to just, I don't know. Oh my God, who am I?
Exactly. All right. We'll see how much better energy I have because I listen to Christmas music longer.
No,
So you get happier when you listen to
I
Christmas
think
music.
sometimes people overdo things that takes away an element of the like specialness and the magic. So that's just
Mm-mm.
me. I'm like, give everything a month. Everything gets a month.
Nah, I like the 2 months for Christmas
I feel
music.
like more people are going to agree with you than me. People are going to think I'm a hater. I'm not a Grinch. I love Christmas. I
She's a
watch
Grinch.
the first Christmas movie of the year when we get home from Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I like order and structure, people. It's just my OCD. Don't come at me.
go at her. I order everyone to attack Becca after this. Well, on a sad note, we'll end it there.
Oh, come on.
No, everyone has their opinion. Yeah, just for me, I get very emotional with music. Like, I just love the feeling of it. So that's where I just immediately
Mm,
love diving into it. And again, I can get homesick around the holidays, so that just it brings me happiness, allows me to feel closer to everyone I love.
well,
So
good for you. You're wrong.
good for me. I have feelings. Okay, so everyone, thanks for tuning in. This was a fun one. I hope maybe y'all got some new ideas. If you relate to anything, if you really disagree with anything, I would love to hear. And if anyone listens to those 2 songs I recommended, please let me know how you feel. Becca, text me after you listen to both of them. I
Well,
think you'll really enjoy them. I'm going to be driving soon after this, and I'm going to probably put both of those on so I can listen. And yeah, if y'all enjoyed the episode, of course, please leave a review, subscribe, all of the fun things. Follow us on socials. We're on socials at Cowgirl Talk. Easy peasy. You can find us that way. And thanks for tuning in, y'all. We'll be taking a break next week as we'll be at Dare Network Conference, but then we'll be back afterwards. So again, yeah, thanks for tuning in, y'all.
all right. And have a great day, cowgirls. Bye.
Bye.